Greetings and salutations, lovies. So we are back for another bout of Everlasting Summer. Last we played, we're in the middle of day 2 still. We were on our way to a bet to play cards, but we were sent to fetch the girl who's in the library, whose name escapes me at the moment. We were on our way to go see her. So, let's see. I know we must have went with Alyssa, I think. I don't know. Ow! Harley! She was in my lap, but now she's not. Alright, Harl. If I move my legs a bit, will this please you? No? You don't seem to really care. Okay, well, I'm just going to scooch up then. Let's load, shall we? Okay. Night is coming soon. I was going to take my time, so I slowly paced towards the library. But I found Zinnia before I even expected. She was sitting on a bench at the square, staring at Jinda, who was silent as always. What are you doing here? Everyone is looking for you. Sitting here, as you can see. She frowned. Well, let's go. I don't want to. She looked away. Why not? I don't want to. I sat beside her. Listen, I don't like the idea of this contest myself, but we can't let everyone down. I surely didn't sound like myself there. A couple of days ago, I wouldn't even think of saying something like that. Zinnia looked at me with surprise on her face. So everyone is waiting for me? Isn't that exactly what I said? Yes. I won't go anyway. She frowned and hid her face. But why? I gestured with my arms, wondering. I don't know how to play cards. So what? Same problem here. Then how can you play? What? You can only do things that you read about in books or something? Of course. She was surprised. And what if you end up in Antarctica and have to rely on hunting polar bears to survive? Polar bears don't live in Antarctica. Zinnia smiled. Doesn't matter, it's just an example. Come on. It's not like someone's life depends on the results. I don't have time to think. I have to drink my coffee, I suppose. I just don't want to let everyone down. Right. I agreed sarcastically. And don't you think anything funny about that? I didn't get what she meant, but anyway. Obviously, everyone here has their weak spots. In a minute, we were both back at the canteen. Everyone looked at electronic. So, he cleared his throat. Each round consists of one game. In case of a draw, you replay the game. After this, the loser drops out and the next round begins. Since the number of volunteers, he looked at me, since the number of players is just 8, we'll only have 3 rounds. Is everything clear? No, you haven't explained the rules of the game at all. All I know is that there's rounds, and that doesn't tell me how to play. It doesn't tell me anything that I need to know to survive this fiasco with Alyssa, or whatever her name is. Clear as mud. The crowd cheered. And what of the prizes? The prizes, what are they? Cut it out, Yolana. Slavia stepped forward and tried to catch Yolana. I won't rest until the prize is mine. Smith's girl alone had enough energy for a warp jump to Alpha Centauri. Prizes, prizes. She repeated it over and over. Stop it. Slavia tried to reason with her. Sorry, guys. I don't know what in the world is wrong. I slept, and I've not done much today. But alas, the yawns, they come. Electronics seem to be getting dizzy from all this running around. Let's start already, I said calmly and added to Yelena, or you won't get any prizes. Looks like my argument got through to her, so she took her place. Slavia followed her, giving me a grateful smile as she passed. The pioneers finally settled down. I approached the table with Lena set behind. You don't mind? She looked up and blushed. Don't worry, I don't know the rules myself. How can I be sure that it's not only myself? I sat down. Turns out we'll have to play the first round together. Yes. Finally, Electronics started to explain the rules. Oh Lord. Oh, don't tell me I have to do this. I do not want to have to do this. Okay. Let me turn this up a little bit. I don't think you all can hear the chatter. Okay, there we go. Look at the cards carefully. There are exactly 6 of them in front of you. I hope everyone knows how to count. Now, you can look at them. How convenient that they have the characters of the game on the cards. That's not weird at all. Everyone had a look at their cards. After everyone had a look at the cards, Electronic moved on. The rules here are similar to poker. Which version of poker? I'm good at Texas Hold'em. Does that count? No, there's too many cards for it to be like Texas Hold'em. No. Yeah, because you only get 2 cards in the beginning. And, okay, phone is getting crazy. Stop it. Let me turn this so it stops vibrating so much. I don't need this going off. Okay. I hope everyone knows how to play. I knew the rules, but wasn't so sure about the others. First of all, it's the top card, then one pair, then 2 pairs, then 3 of a kind, and so on. No flushes or straights, though. In the first round, you choose a card which you would like to take from your opponent. In turn, your opponent can choose to swap 2 of his cards around twice. Or he can choose not to do so, if he doesn't need the card which you are taking. What? So, I can choose to take 1 card from my opponent, and then they can choose to swap out 2 cards with me, or 2 cards from this. Is there like a deck, a stack, like a drawing pile? Take note here that your opponent can see which cards are trading places. I don't understand. In the next step, your opponent takes the card he chose, or chooses. And so on. I think it's pretty clear. Absolutely not. I don't understand. So, it sounds like I can take a card from whoever I'm playing against. And they can choose to take 2 cards from a drawing pile if they need the card that I took. But if they don't need the card that I took, they don't have to take any cards. And when I take one, I give them one of mine. I think. We'll see. I don't know. I'm about to lose this bet. It wasn't too clear to me. Okay, good. So it's not just me. My player has no idea as well. Perfect. Okay. This should be wonderful. We're gonna lose. Hey, you Einstein! Yelena yelled at him from her table. I don't get a thing. You'll figure it out as we go. That's not gonna work for me when I'm in a bet. I need to understand now. This is no bueno. Electron went to the table with a diagram, leaving Yolana to smolder in solitude. You go first. I hoped I could get my mind around the game fast enough. I don't have much hope for us, but okay. Lena, more perplexed than usual, reached out for my cards. In the middle of her hand, in the middle of the table, her hand stopped. Will you? Oh, yeah, I should be protecting my card. What was it Electronic said? Try to confuse our opponents, I can swap 2 of my cards? Twice? Or can I choose not to? Should I protect it or not? By the way, I can also agree and give her the card she chose straight away. Otherwise, can change her mind and take another card if she wants to. Or she might not. Choose whose turn. Yours. Game phase defense. Rounds left 3. Exchanges left. I don't know. She wants this one? Okay. What? I want those, because that's a pair. It's a pretty decent pair. It's jacks. There's no straights or flushes, or this would be a nice thing to have. If I click on this, I don't know. Crap. Things were becoming clear. No, I don't understand. I lost the card I wanted. Or at least comprehensive. No, I just moved 2 cards around in my hand. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Now it's my turn. I can take back my card from her, or I can choose another one. I'm going to take back my card from her. Then you can try and protect her card. But if I watch her closely, I can take the card I choose regardless of her movements. Okay. Okay. I made it. Electronic was like watching our game, nodded in approval. Looks like now we're getting somewhere. Now, during the round, opponents trade cards 3 times. Keep an eye on each other. Penetrate your opponent with your eyes. don't even say that, because I was thinking the same thing. Oh my gosh, I'm a teenage boy. Oh, my juvenile thought patterns. Please, internet, leave me alone this day. It's not. It's just not. I don't even know what to tell you guys. What's so funny? Oh, never mind. I tried to keep a straight face. He stared at me for a moment and then moved on. And then we turned the cards up to see whose hand's better. Electronic went back to his diagram. Wait, my hand changed? Oh, this is a real hand, I guess. So I'll swap this one and this one. I don't know why. And this one and this one. I don't know why. Great, I want that back. No, I really don't care, actually. I'm gonna choose this one. I want that one. I still want that one. Well, it did me no good, but I'm sure it upset her, so. Okay. I'll swap this one and this one. This one and this one. Great. She took the one that I want. I want this one. I still want this one. I still want this one. Okay. I'll swap this one and this one. I'll swap this one and This one. F, I want that one back. This one. This one. This one. Oh, she had pairs and queens. Oh well. I failed. Just, I don't know. Left the canteen. It was still too early to sleep, and a short walk looked like a good idea. Where should I head to? I decided to walk north, or at least the direction that I believed it was. For several minutes, far ahead, I saw a concert hall, several rows of wooden benches, and a similarly wooden stage. We hadn't been here yet, that's why I chose it. I climbed onto the stage. So much varied musical equipment, loudspeakers, and a microphone stand, even a piano. I imagined that I was in front of a massive audience, shouting and chanting my name, my eyes hurting from the spotlights. Imagining a guitar in my hands, I tried to perform a long, striking solo. I suppose it looked pretty funny from a stranger's point of view, a weird guy swinging his arms on stage and jumping around like an ape making faces. I hope no one can see me here. With that in mind, I jumped off the stage and hurried away. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. There was no light in the window, so Olga must have been sleeping already. Strangely enough, she waited for me yesterday. I entered the cabin, stripped quietly, and laid in bed. When you think about it, my situation hadn't gotten any clearer today. In fact, I spent the whole day doing useless stuff. I would have never even thought about doing something like this in the real world. Although I had plenty of time. How much time I would have here in total is still a mystery. Maybe an eternity, or maybe there are only a few minutes left. I just didn't want to think about the past, about how I got to this camp. For the first time in a long while, I felt really tired. Not only emotionally tired, but also physically tired, psychologically tired, and God knows how else tired. I just wanted everyone and everything to shut off, starting with my own thoughts. I wanted this mess somehow resolved by itself, or at least without my active participation. And what if I'm stuck here forever? Then I'll have to get used to it. So just like that, I'm not ready. My consciousness slowly drifted away from me, and it became progressively harder to concentrate on something distinct. Perhaps it's better to wait until tomorrow. I rolled over and fell asleep. I guess I could have played the rest of the day last time, but oh well. I didn't know how much longer was going to be left with the game, and that game could have gone longer if I hadn't sucked so bad at the game. I was just rubbish. But it is what it is. The night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up exhausted, both physically and mentally. It happens to me all the time. Pardon. It happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dream, as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster with a plot full of twists, well-paid actors, and multi-million-dollar visual effects, and then you wake in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain. But that part of my memory was empty, either archived or formatted completely. It's 7 a.m. according to the clock. I seem to be an early bird today. Olga was still sleeping, wrapping tightly in her blankets. Wrapping so tightly in a hot summer? I got up, stretched, went to the mirror to have a look at myself. I better shave. Strange idea, before twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. What? Before twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. I don't understand that. I haven't found a razor anyway. Why do I even need it if I look like I'm 17 at most? So, breakfast can't start earlier than 9 a.m., and this means I have plenty of time, which I can spend on walking and washing, for example. The water didn't seem as ice cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness helped me to brace up and come back to reality, whether all these events could be called real. The toothpaste powder didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that it's not that different from toothpaste. When I returned to the cabin, Olga was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror fixing her hair. Good morning, Simeon. Morning. Because of lack of sleep, my head was still singing and my thoughts were all jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in for 2 or 3 more hours. How come you got up so early? It just happened. And no neckerchief once again. Let me. I'll do it myself, not a big deal, on my way to the canteen. I don't think so. Do it now. Did you forget about the lineup before breakfast? How could I ever forget? And what's the lineup going to be about today? We'll discuss the agenda of the day. So what's on the agenda? Frankly speaking, I didn't care what might be on the agenda for our courageous pioneer troop. I was mostly interested in where our brave leader will send our little pioneer army for the following 12 to 15 hours. Maybe I could manage to avoid enemy locations. You'll find out at the lineup. She gave me a wily smile. Olga, you know my stomach is getting upset. I'd rather, believe that it's okay to miss the. I believe it's okay to miss the lineup once. It could get all nasty if I failed to control it right there. Where did all this courage come from? You have 5 more minutes. I'm afraid I need more time. Could you tell me right now, please? Sure, I'll try, but just in case it all goes down. Oh, fine. On our list today is cleaning the camp locations, organizing the books in the library, some other minor tasks, and of course, we have a ball in the evening. Watch yourself. You must take part in the camp activity today. You bet. Definitely. And now I'd rather... Come on, let's hit the road. I went out of the cabin and hid in a bush behind it, waiting for Olga to leave. I actually didn't have any particular reason to behave this way, but the voice within me kept telling me that I have nothing to do with the lineup. After the camp leader left, I went back to the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast. Well, I'm not planning on taking part in community life today. Cleaning and organizing, that's not what someone in my situation should be doing. 2 days have passed and I'm still right where I started. All the residents seem to be perfectly ordinary people. They weren't involved in any conspiracy, weren't communicating with aliens, and had no idea about time warps. Of course, each of them is a bit peculiar, but those peculiarities do not seem out of line at all. Moreover, if I had met any of these pioneers in my familiar world, I wouldn't suspect anything wrong. They seem to be even more normal and natural than, let's say, yours truly. This line of reasoning was quite logical. The illogical part was the absence of answers. Ordinary people in extraordinary place. I've heard and seen that already somewhere. Dozens of pioneers, or even more, live their familiar lives and do their regular stuff day by day. They don't understand that the world around them is not what it looks like. Okay. But this is their point of view. As for me, I'm not acquainted with the world of the Savinok camp and its residents, even if they seem to behave the way normal people would under the same circumstances. I have to decide here and now, are those people involved in what's happening to me? Can they give me any answers? Or do I have to seek the truth elsewhere? It seems I overdid it a bit with overthinking. There's no usual crowd of hungry pioneers near the canteen. Or even inside the canteen. Most of them probably had their breakfast before 9 a.m. That's even better. Two's company, three's a crowd. Lena was sitting in the farthest corner of the canteen, lazily picking her fork at an amorphous lump that vaguely resembled porridge. Having breakfast with her seemed like a good idea. We can have a chat in peace. Or at least try to have one. No, I didn't mean to do that. I was on the way to her table when somebody grabbed by my sleeve. Xenia, the librarian. Get your meal and come. We need to talk. What are you waiting for? I was a bit confused. Pardon, isn't this a bit too sudden? What's wrong? Get your meal and sit down. Suppose that she considers her behavior completely normal. I suppose I'll go with her. I'm not sure why, but I accepted the invitation. What if I can learn something new? She is such a bookworm. A minute later, I was sitting in front of Xenia with the tray and the simple meal on it. Porridge, 2 eggs, 4 pieces of white bread, a sausage, and a glass of compote. Bon appetit. Thanks. I had to act as politely as I could and also eat more neatly without chomping and spilling crumbs or drops of compote. As one should anyway. Are we a slob? So what do you want to talk about? Today at the library, I wasn't listening from this point onwards. I immediately recalled Olga's words about the scheduled events for today. Don't forget. Oh, what? I said don't forget to visit the library after lunch. What for? Were you even listening? Nope. I admitted honestly. Xenia's face turned red, then appeared green, then took on a soft purple color. Is she human? These aren't normal colors for a person to exhibit on their flesh. Today, after lunch, you, in the library. Got it, dunce? Dunce? What kind of curse is that? Though a pioneer must never use a curse word, how could I forget this rule? Oh, yeah, sure, I apologize. Of course, I'll be there. Actually, I wasn't really planning to go anywhere. But if you want to make someone speak, you need to sacrifice a bit first. By the way, what year is it now? I totally lost count. I decided to play fair. She looked at me perplexed and answered, Have you gone completely bananas? Honestly, that's how I felt for the last few days. Xenia didn't reply. So what year is it? I smiled kindly. Listen, why don't you visit the infirmary? Again, no answers. Nothing I say or do is giving me any answers. Will you tell me what year it is? Will they tell me what year it is in there? Oh, certainly, and even more. Xenia stood up and headed to the exit. Wait, you didn't finish your meal. But it looks like she won't be turning back. I was finished chewing on the sausage, which tasted like a twisted pear cable. I wonder if they have internet access here. I guess not. A pioneer was sitting at the table and noticed me talking to myself and stared at me. I smiled and waved to him in return. After such a friendly greeting, he, for some reason, left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with the food, it's time to search for some clues. Some time later, I finally came to the infirmary. I had nothing to do in the place. Though the nurse seemed quite caring, it's better to keep a distance from her. Such benevolence is actually scary. She may know something, but I just hadn't the courage to enter the infirmary. Moreover, I had no reason to. Not a single one. Immersed in my own thoughts, I didn't notice the nurse who was standing on the porch. Hi there, pioneer. She came closer. She is totally inappropriate. You must be sick. Did you come for medicine? No, I was just wandering around. Oh, a truant, I see. But if you're here, I have a serious task for you. I gave her a look of inquiry. The word task made me feel uneasy. It sounded like something inevitable. The nurse smiled spitefully. You both will help me to make an inventory of supplied medicine which arrived today. Both? Both? Who are we? Perhaps I misheard. But that word could be confused. But what word could be confused with both? Hi. Lena emerged from behind the nurse's back. It seemed strange that I hadn't noticed her until now. Come here after dinner. I have explained everything to Lena. She will tell you what to do. Medicine, huh? Supplied today. But Olga told me that no bus would arrive in the next couple of days. So there were visitors to our camp today? Yes. They arrived from the city this morning. Why are you asking? Just curious. Alright then, Pioneer. So tonight, after dinner, you'll be here. Lena was barely noticeable this whole time. Surely she's able to remain invisible like a skilled ninja. I could do it on my own. No way. There are a lot of boxes. And a pioneer is always ready. Isn't that so, Pioneer? She gazed at me and smiled menacingly. I don't want to spend the whole evening doing something like this. And also, I've got more important things to do. But rejecting this request would be really improper. If it wasn't for Lena who was standing there, I would definitely think my way out. I don't want to be a liar. Nice. That's how a true pioneer should answer. Even after these words, I could barely came to a step closer to the be prepared, always prepared motto. Then you can go. I looked at Lena, who was still staring at the ground. I guess all that time she spent staring at the ground was enough to learn everything there is to know about the life, habits of different insects. Plus, Lena likes to read, so she probably has read many biological, botanical, and so on books. Perhaps she wants to become an entomologist. My inner dialogue is so odd. Like, especially if I have the brain of a grown man, my inner dialogue is just peculiar at best. Where will you head next? Lena's words drew me away from the obscure thoughts. We've been standing at the square for some time, and my speculations about bugs' lives were only an attempt to escape this awkward situation. Though, why do I see it as awkward? Just don't forget, alright? Don't forget what? Well, tonight, after dinner, at the infirmary. Her voice got slightly grumpy to look to it. No way, it's impossible. Alright, right after dinner, I'm at your service. I thought too late at my words. Lena blushed even harder. I need to find a way to ease the situation. Why did the nurse ask you to do it? I don't know. I was just sitting on the bench and reading a book when she came and... It's smart to ask a reliable person who would never say no. Okay. Well then, after dinner. Okay. I'll be off then. Yeah, sure. She walked off somewhere beside the clubs, and I just stood at the square for some time. So what's next? I decided to visit my cabin in order to collect my phone. I don't know where I'll find myself today, and having a watch is always useful. Though having a wristwatch is much easier. Suddenly I heard a different tune, which was cutting through the usual noise of the camp. I listened to it carefully. It sounded like an electric guitar. 3 repeating chords, no more. But this melody still felt somehow warm, as if a vacuum tube-based audio amplifier was used. Could there be such a luxury here? The sound was definitely coming from somewhere near the stage. I wondered who that could be. I should take a look. Coming to the stage, I caught sight of Alyssa on the stage. Oh, this is a lovely view. The girl was giving it all. With her eyes closed, she placed one leg up on the speaker and was swaying her body with the rhythm of the music. I couldn't recognize the melody, but I was pretty sure that I'd heard it before. Probably something from Soviet rock. I could have named a dozen bands in this genre right off the bat, but I was hardly an expert. The song seemed really simple, literally just a three-chord progression. Probably even I could have played it, given some time to practice. I wonder where Alyssa got her playing skills. In the USSR, such music had never been nationally acclaimed. The future rock star wasn't taking any notice of me. It was like she was trying to become one with the music, to resound in every note, in every bar, in every triplet. Rock heroes of the 80s instantly came to mind. Many of them were devoted to the music in a similar way. If she got dressed in something more suitable for the period's fashion instead of her pioneer uniform, no one would have noticed the difference. Her performance was coming to an end. Picking out the last couple of chords, Alyssa finally noticed me. Did you like it? She doesn't seem as surprised as I would have expected. Yeah, it was cool. As if you could do any better, smiled Alyssa slyly. I'm not saying that I could do it better. I'm not a pro at music. No doubt. Yep. I didn't know what to tell her next and was headed on my way. Wait a minute. What? I heard about the evening dance party? I thought it was a ball. Ball, dance party, what's the difference? She frowned at me. Yes, I did, and so what? Are you gonna go? After throwing those words, she turned away. I'm not sure, and you? What am I gonna do there? Watch a herd of morons? There was some truth in Alyssa's words, but this open disrespect surprised me. Not me. It was clear that it's not the idea of the ball she hates. But why? What do you mean by why? Why don't you want to come? Dance parties ought to be fun. Do you really think so? Annoyance flashed in her voice. I don't know, but I thought you would... Never liked them, she interrupted me. There's absolutely nothing to do at such parties. I see. So what's your plan then? I asked just to keep the conversation going. I'll just carry on practicing. What are you practicing? The song! You even heard it? Alyssa had gone totally mad. A few more wrong questions and I will have to run for my life. Who wrote that song? I did. So you wrote it by yourself? By myself. Cool. An awkward silence hung in the air. Okay then. Don't you want to listen? Didn't I just hear it? That's not what I meant. She pouted. The whole song is just a jam for now. Ah, come on, do it then. Not right now. Well, don't do it then. I felt uncertain about what she wanted from me. You mean you don't want me to play? Seems like I frustrated her. I got ready for her to smash the guitar on my forehead or something worse. There was only an upset expression on Alyssa's face. I want to, I told you. Come here tonight then, and I'll play it for you. For me? How cute. Tonight is the dance party. You said you wouldn't go. I didn't say that. Frankly speaking, I didn't want to go, but messing around with Davacha was no good either. Olga won't like it. Screw her, said Alyssa, getting steamed up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. This girl seems very troubled. What am I supposed to do, guys? I don't know, like, the ultimate goal of this game. I'm not really certain what I'm supposed to accomplish. I don't know what my end result is supposed to be. Am I supposed to be making friends? Am I supposed to be following the rules? Like, I don't know, but I guess I'll come watch. All I've done is say yes to everyone, so I guess appeasing people might be a good place to start. I'm just not certain. So we're gonna say yes and hope for the best. That's what we're gonna do. Between shame at the dance and Alyssa's mad guitar skills, I'd rather pick the latter. Good boy. She smells strangely. Don't call me that. Makes me uncomfortable. I was just wondering if the decision I made was the right one when suddenly I was interrupted by a ringing, calling the pioneers for lunch. I looked toward the canteen. I suppose it's time to go. Hunger is a sharp thorn. I turned around with the intent to call Alyssa to come along, but she looked so cheerless and down. Every musician should know when it's time to leave, I grumbled under my breath. Okay, so I think this is a good spot for saving and stopping for today. We have to go to the library after lunch, to the infirmary after dinner, and then to see Alyssa after, I guess everything else during the dance. So we have quite a busy schedule for ourselves. I feel like this is going to take some time to complete all of these things. So better off to cease now and complete all of our tasks later. That way this is not a 75-hour session. So, for now, I will bid thee adieu. And thank you so much for stopping in and doing this with me, whatever it is we're doing. Anyway, until next time, goodbye, lovelies.